Well, hello again, everyone, and welcome to our latest webcast that we're bringing you from Travel Weekly. And I'm delighted to be joined today by James Thornton. He's made time in his schedule because it is really important. James is, of course, the CEO of Intrepid Travel, and it's been a really difficult weekend, James. And anyone who's been watching Travel Weekly would have seen our story this morning about Intrepid's appeal for support for the people in Morocco after that devastating earthquake. So I asked you to come on because I think there's a lot to talk about. We obviously want to tell people about the appeal, but also you've got people on the ground there. I think it is your biggest destination for your company. So I think it'd be great if you can just sort of talk through what you know is happening and how we can best support that destination.
Yeah, thanks, Lisa. It's great to be with you. It's been a really tough weekend, particularly for our team, customers, suppliers, partners across Morocco. Like you said, it's our biggest destination globally. We had over 60 trips on the ground at the time, more than 650 customers. We've got 77 office-based staff in Marrakesh. Again, it's one of our biggest offices globally. And when the earthquake hit late on Friday night, it was really upsetting and difficult time. Obviously, the epicenter is in the High Atlas Mountains. It's outside of Marrakesh for those who have visited. The Atlas Mountains area is been destroyed in many parts. Old Town Marrakesh has also been impacted significantly. But I guess crucially, and we'll get onto this a bit later, many other parts of Marrakesh, many other tourist parts, the Casablancas, Meknes, Rabats, Fez, Sahara deserts they're fine. They're operating normally. Schools are back, airports are open, life is normal. So it's absolutely tragic in terms of the local area that's been impacted, but many parts obviously remain unimpacted.
Okay, well, we'll come on to that. But just before we do, James, are all your staff safe? And you said 650 people, customers there. Are they all accounted for? Is everyone okay?
They are, yeah. Really great news, Lisa, and we feel very fortunate that all of our staff, all of our customers and tour leaders are all accounted for and safe. We do have one customer who is in intensive care at the moment who we're supporting and hoping that things turn out okay there. Unfortunately, though, we do have team members who've lost loved ones whose homes have been destroyed in the Atlas region. So, yeah, it's a really difficult time, and we're doing our best to support those people who've been so badly impacted on the ground.
Yeah, all right. And we will, in a second, we'll just come on to how we can help you support them, or how as an industry we can get some support to them. But so just talk us through what happened then. Obviously it hit on Friday. You had customers on these 60 different tours, which I imagine some of them were in the Atlas Mountains. So just operationally, how did you cope with it all? Did you have to get people off the tours? Are they now being sent home, or are they staying in Marrakesh and waiting to get out? Or are they just explain to us what you've done with the people there, and then we'll come on to talk about the people who've got tours booked, I guess, coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm here in New York at the moment, Lucy, and it's Friday evening here, late Friday night in Morocco. And my first contact was a text from Zina Ben Sheikh, our managing director. Zina lives in Casablanca, to say there'd been an earthquake. And obviously we didn't hear anything about it in the kind of main news publications for quite a few more hours. And so, when situations like that occur, we have instant management response that's pretty well drilled. Unfortunately, we've had to deal with, as a global tour operator, many tragic events that happen all across the world at various times. So we are pretty well drilled. The first thing we do is obviously getting in contact with our groups, with our tour leaders, with our team members to ensure everyone's safety and security. And obviously the challenging thing in those times is that phone lines go down, and obviously it's hard to get hold of everyone. But that was the first immediate priority. Make sure customers are safe, make sure they're secure. Like we said earlier, we're very, very fortunate that they were some customers were impacted in one accommodation in the Atlas Mountains, but we're able to take care of them as best as we possibly could. So, and then the situation is about what do you do with the existing customers on the ground immediately, and then what do you do with the customers that are arriving every single day, because trips start every single day. People are flying in as they speak. So the immediate response has been that we've kept the trips going that have been operating and moved customers to safe areas, so outside of the Atlas Mountains, away from the old town of Marrakesh. That's been the main thing. And then we took the immediate decision to cancel the next 3 to 4 days of departures, so that those travelers who were flying in had kind of comfort and knowledge around what was happening.
Okay, all right. So some people have chosen to just move on to or different areas, which, as you were saying at the start, are very, very safe. So they've been able to continue their Intrepid tour, but just in a different place than they were planning.
I think that's a really important point, Lucy. So of the more than 600 customers that we had on the ground at the moment, I can tell you that only 17 have actually chosen to leave the country at this point.
Wow.
So that kind of gives you some insight into kind of the way we've responded, the way that our customers' mindset is. They want to stay in destination. They want to continue to travel where they can to ensure that money continues to get into local communities. So yeah, it's obviously, you know, we continue to monitor it every single day, but at the moment, you know, vast majority of those customers are continuing on trips, and we're traveling to destinations that have been not impacted.
I know we're preaching to the converted here in a way, but that is the value of booking with a tour operator with all that knowledge and experience on the ground. And for an agent, because you must have had lots of agents involved as well, they'll have had people ringing up from home and wondering about their clients that were on these trips. So I think that's the peace of mind that you can offer.
I think so, Lisa. I think that's the great thing about Intrepid. We've got 28 destination management companies around the world that we wholly own. And so, you know, Zina, Hala, the general manager of our Morocco team, 77 people in our Marrakesh office, they're the people on the ground providing, you know, the guidance. And so customers and agents can be comforted by, you know, we are getting that information directly. And like I said before, found out from Zina about the earthquake many hours before it actually went onto mainstream news channels. So yeah, I think the team have responded magnificently under really trying and testing circumstances.
That little bit of extra time to get organized. And then in terms of then you said you obviously cancelled for 3 or 4 days just to, you know, to give those people. But I understand you're restarting now from Wednesday, is that right?
That's right, restarting from Wednesday. Obviously, we're rerouting itineraries. They won't visit the Atlas Mountains, and they'll be spending very limited time in Old Town Marrakesh. But other than that,
would most tours visit Marrakesh? Like, I mean,
yeah, most trips would. Not all of them do, Luce, but you know, most of them do. It's obviously the iconic centre with the Medina. Those who were at the ABTA conference last year will know, having visited personally, it's a pretty iconic destination. So yeah, most tours do touch Marrakesh, but again, there are many parts of Marrakesh that are fine. Many places that we can still house our customers, but obviously staying predominantly away from that traditional Medina and spending less time in the city.
And that's because obviously there's still some risk that there may be sort of danger.
Yeah, and it's also about just doing aid recovery. That, you know, it's really important in situations when there are natural disasters that areas are given the space to be able to recover, and you know, customers and travelers aren't going through. But at the same time, it's really important that travelers do go through areas that haven't been impacted, so that communities continue to benefit, and we continue to get money into those areas.
Yeah. So of the people that are still to come, and they're coming every day, as you talked about, have people cancelled outright and want a completely different destination to Morocco, or are they opting for these other parts of Morocco that you can still offer?
So I only have stats through to last night, but at this stage we'd only had 20 customers book. 20 customers have cancelled who have departures to Morocco for the rest of the year. To put that into context, we're going to carry close to 3,500 customers in September and October alone to Morocco. So at this stage, it's really positive. But of course, you know, time will tell how that will continue to evolve. But yeah, early signs are really promising that the customers still want to travel. We've actually got educational trips going on next week. You know, Marrakesh Airport is open and working, and travel advisories haven't changed. So it is, you know, Morocco is still open for business, but it's those destinations like the Atlas Mountains and staying away from Old Town Marrakesh, which customers will be avoiding.
Yes, and I guess too early to put a time scale on when they might be back on your programs or
super hard, isn't it? I mean, recovery.
Yeah,
that's right. Recovery's going on, so I think it's far too early to say at this stage.
Okay, but your message then to agents, if I can get you to think about that, because if they've got people coming in, perhaps having thought about Morocco but not sure, or you know, or looking at a trip, what would be your message to help agents communicate the right thing to customers, whether they've got things booked or they're thinking about it?
Yeah, look, and I'll probably quote Zina here, and you know, as we all know, Zina's an incredibly passionate supporter of Morocco, and we were on the phone yesterday afternoon, Sunday, and she said to me, James, we've got to make sure we get customers traveling to Morocco. There'd be an even, you know, kind of not an even worse disaster, but it'd be even more tragic if customers stay away from this beautiful country. And so, yeah, you know, Casablanca, Rabat, Meknes, Fez, the Sahara Desert. These places have been unimpacted. Schools are open. Life is going on as normal. Business is normal. So, you know, encouraging travel agents to encourage their customers to travel, to make sure they're traveling with established tour operators who have presence on the ground, and yeah, to feel comfortable and confident in that. And you know, Intrepid is working really hard to make sure that we're taking care of our customers and they're having wonderful experiences on the ground when they do come to destination. And we wouldn't be running trips to places if we weren't confident we're able to do that.
Yeah, of course. Well, thank you for that. That's helpful. In the meantime, though, they could also help, as we all could, with contributing to this fund you've set up. You are known for this. You're very generous. You've put some of your own company money into this fund, and I think you've already got some good response as well from everyone that you've communicated this to. So just tell us a little bit about what you're trying, if there's a target or what you're trying to raise, and how it's going to be spent, because I think sometimes people go, well, where's the money going to go? And I think with you having that knowledge and that experience on the ground, we're pretty sure it's going to definitely help.
Yeah, so the Intrepid Foundation's been going for 21 years. It's raised nearly $14-15 million for NGOs around the world during the course of that time. Like you say, we're quite well known for our emergency appeals, so we hustled together really quickly over the weekend to get the appeal that went live yesterday morning UK time. We are trying to raise money for 2 NGOs in the Atlas Mountains. One's Education for All, which a number of us have visited. We took a trek with Hayes actually up to Tukbal last year, and we went and visited the Education for All team. It's about trying to get education for women in the region. Also the High Atlas Foundation as well. So the money will go directly to those 2 NGOs. Intrepid is tipping in $100,000, which will match the first $100,000 raised. We've already smashed through that target. I think just before we started filming, we'd hit around about $187,000 raised, plus the 100,000 for Intrepid. I think it works out close to £150,000 all up at this stage. Intrepid covers all administrative costs, so your dollars go directly to those 2 projects. Those 2 projects have been absolutely devastated at this point, so it's a great way to get money to the people who need it most at this most difficult time. So yeah, really encourage everyone to visit the Intrepid Foundation as a way to be able to give back to the people that need it most during this most difficult time.
Okay, and the links for that are also in our story and on our website, which we will be putting this recording into, so you can very easily find out. But if not, just contact us at Travel Weekly. We'll make sure we direct people to the right place to contribute, you know, to donate if they are able to do so. James, thank you for your time. It must be such a busy period for you. So we just wish you all the best, and particularly for that customer as well that you said is in intensive care. Obviously, we really hope a good outcome there, and for all that you do, particularly with the foundation. That's wonderful, and thank you for your time today.
Thanks, Lise, and best wishes to Zena and Hala, our team in Morocco, who are doing an amazing job of looking after our customers and all our travel agent partners at this time. So yeah, we really appreciate the work they're doing, and thanks for your support, Travel Weekly.
Pleasure. All right, see you soon.